Okay. Okay.
Okay, it looks like they're going.
So.
So now we got the match started. I'll talk a little bit about it. So we have GDF. Initially, when the tournament started, was seed 6, and Umari0 was seed 27. So you can see that GDF is kind of the seed favored pick, but Umari0 did just get a recent PB of a 3550 something. So we'll have to see what he can pull out. I know he's been running this category fairly often recently. I haven't seen GDF running it too often, but maybe I've just been missing it.
So let's see, no 361s.
Yeah, as expected, just normal YI2s. Umari0 said he was so nervous about going against GDF he might miss box jump, but it looks like he's fine. And also, it's probably like this on the restream as well. GDF's game feed is 1 or 2 seconds ahead, which isn't that big of a difference.
Yeah, that can happen. Okay. Umari0's, I guess I can try refreshing. I mean, there's really no harm in refreshing.
I might just leave it. I'd probably just leave it. It's not like a 20-second difference or anything.
Well, yeah.
You don't want to mess it up.
Well, this is World 1, so like, there's usually nothing too interesting.
Yeah, GDF had a pretty good attempt at a shell jump, but just missed it. Probably too far left. Umari0 didn't go for it at all. Always safe for a run. So I know Umari0 actually, I was going to say Umari0 was having trouble getting out of World 1, but he didn't really say he was. We were just all talking about number of resets in World 1 earlier. He said he had about 52% resets in World 1. But I guess he wasn't really complaining about that. That could also just be from resetting in YI2 from, like, forgetting to start your splits or something like that.
Yeah.
But one thing you can see is that GDF is going for Fire Flower, and Umari0 is remaining as Small Mario.
Huh.
Which means that I would guess that GDF is trying to keep Fire Flower through DP3, but he could also be doing a deboost in DS1. Ooh, Umari0 did miss about half a cycle on Iggy. He spin jumped a little bit too early before he was on his head. That's probably just from nerves. Didn't do any major damage, just 3 seconds.
Yeah. Like, I'm watching the restream, so I thought I meant he died or something. That didn't happen.
Oh, GDF doesn't do the TP4 fire strat? I mean, I usually keep fire through it, but I don't do, like, a blue shell strat or anything. I just use it so I already have a backup fire. Plus, I just prefer to have fire just in case I get hit by an enemy. It's a little bit safer. So far, they're both going through DP1 very well. We'll see how they grab the Yoshi. Looks like GDF got a good P-speed landing, so he got to already have P-speed off the yellow blocks. But he did have a slight run off a ledge. Didn't even lose an in-game second. Umari0 also had a good Yoshi grab, and pretty much just a perfect DP1. So DS1, one of the more boring levels in No Cape, No Starworld. It's a lot more interesting when you do have a cape, because you can do some shell shenanigans. we'll see. GDF did lose the throw block just a tiny bit early. No major thing. Umari0 is able to complete DS1 a little bit faster because he's small, so he could swim over the 2 throw blocks instead of having to break the first one and grab the second. So Umari0 did make up just a tiny bit of time over GDF in that level.
Ooh, nice.
But until they're out of DP3 at least, and even DP4, the big time losses have not really come yet. Oh, GDF got a little bit too close for comfort on that boo, in my opinion. But he pulled it out. Umari0 did it just as well. So yeah, they both kept P-speed, didn't have to do any blind door openings, and didn't get hit. Good. Now, they're entering the moment of truth. We'll see how their DP3s go. Looks like GDF is actually opting not to scroll at the beginning. That's an interesting strat.
Oh.
Oh, he's actually doing the, Oh, that's interesting. He did the scroll strat with the fireball.
Oh wait.
That's a nice... a very nice strat.
That's the strat I do.
Not many people do it.
Well, I don't go for the jump afterwards, but I do the first part. It's nice to see someone else doing that.
Yeah, you can get consistent at it. It just takes a little bit more practice than some other ones. But I believe it is pretty fast strat. Umari0 also just did some normal strats. Got through very nicely. So we'll see what type of strats GDF does here. He does run up the pink blocks. Or up the pink triangle. While Umari0 opted to kind of deboost the shell into the hammer bro. Which was faster, but then he got caught a little bit on that chuck. Oh, GDF chose to take the slightly slower strat of grabbing the star, since he already had a fire flower.
Oh.
While Umari0 does the standard scroll and fire flower strat.
Don't blame for going for the star.
Yeah, the star doesn't lose that much time if you already have a fire flower, and it's pretty safe for what it costs.
Well, maybe star and flower could be the same speed if you do it like differently. Like it doesn't look like I don't know. Maybe do it optimally.
I don't know. It looks to me when you do star, you start running a little bit later, so you get P-speed a little later. But I don't know. Could be almost exactly the same. Oh, Umari0 had the wall jump pixel, but didn't quite get it for the fake cycle skip wall jump. So we'll see how they do with this spring up top. GDF does have the spring. Umari0 hasn't gotten to it yet. GDF lost a little bit of time by not bouncing off those dry bones, so I'm guessing, yeah, he put the spring on the last cement block just to be a little bit safer. But did it quite well. It looks like Umari0... Ooh, that was a little scary because he didn't quite get up to the top in one jump. So he threw it, but he did make it, so...
Pretty close right now.
Oh, I forgot the, I guess that's right, the star strat doesn't need a scroll, so it is just about the same time, even though you wait a little bit longer. So yeah, I'd call those pretty good World 2s. There weren't any major mistakes. GDF is actually, I believe, 6, or this is, can't tell. He's a little bit ahead of his split PB, which isn't actually his real PB. It's too small on my screen to read his splits. Both of them missed the strat where you get the backup fire flower from hitting the buzzy into it, but GDF did choose to wait and spit out the blue shell to get the buzzy. I mean, to get the fire flower. which could pay off later. We'll have to see if he needs that backup Fire Flower, but Umari0 did not do that. So if GDF doesn't need the Fire Flower, then Umari0 made up a little bit of time. You see both of them attempting to fireball a Koopa. GDF did get the fireball and it therefore kept all of the wall springs spawned. Umari0 missed one of the fireballs, or missed fireballing the Koopa, and despawned one of the wall springs, but luckily his screen scrolled just enough that he didn't need it. But that can really mess you up if you don't fireball Koopa. Sometimes it takes, you have to reload, or re-scroll the screen. Okay, let's see how VS2 goes. Looks like they're both doing pretty well in VS2, going as according to plan. I think GDF actually meant to grab the very first Koopa, but missed it, but it didn't cause him any trouble. I believe if you spit out the Koopa, if you carry it across the level and spit it out and hit the chuck at the end, to me it seems to save 1 frame on average. But they both had a very good VS2. No mistakes at all. VS3, GDF opts to do this strat where you just run right away and then do a left-right. Umari0 did one of the newer strats that I think was shown from one of the racers earlier in the tournament, where you do a little bit of a dismount. Some people also wait and look at the in-game timer, or just do a little wait, or turn to the left. But it just makes the dolphin pattern better for the very first jump if you wait a little bit before you run.
Oh yeah, yep. Umari actually swallowed a dolphin there. Nice.
So yeah, those were two normally good VS3s. So these are very solid runs, I would say. Vanilla Fort is just going to go as normal, most likely, with nothing eventful happening until the Reznor fight. We'll have to see how the Reznor luck favors them, and how they deal with it. So yeah, we have GDF entering the Reznor room first. He got nice luck on the first fireball and did a pretty quick Reznor kill, so good for him. Let's see Umari0. Umari0 also got good luck on the first fireball and also did a quick kill. He had a little bit of a bounce off of the first Reznor platform, but it didn't hurt him at all. It hurts more if you have cape, because you're usually still floating at that point and it can float you into the other Reznor. No cape, as long as you have a good first fireball, you can usually do the fast kill pretty easily. So now let's see what will decide the true winner, which is the amount of swag they can pull off in BB1. I haven't actually seen any swag yet. It's a little bit disappointing. I know GDF was doing some high bounces off of Yoshi right at the beginning. Let's see if we can see some high bounces to get extra 1-ups. That's what I usually do in BB1. Because there's a, I don't know if it's really a feature of the game, but if you jump off of Yoshi very quickly after remounting him, it actually increases the counter for the number of enemies you've bounced off of. So if you do 7 bounces and then jump on an enemy, you can instantly get a 1-up. Just a fun fact.
Ooh, Umari was trying to get, I think he was trying to get a lot of ones, but I missed it.
Looks like GDF is taunting us with that cape. This is one of the few categories where you actually wish that this level had a fire flower. Usually it's a perfect place to get it, to grab a backup cape, such as in 96 Exit.
Yeah, Tina, we should disqualify these players for no ban.
Yeah, it looks like they're taking it a little bit too safe, sacrificing the swag.
Yeah.
GDF got a nice, very early entry into that pipe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Often. You can just carry a shell.
Oh yeah, that's true, TLD. Okay, so BB2 can be a stumbling block for some players if they miss the blue shell, or if they somehow lose Yoshi. GDF chooses to grab the bottom blue shell. It's a nice strat, I personally don't like it. Umari0 does the same thing, both of them are fine.
See if anyone goes for the stomp.
Looks like Umari0 is plaguing our ears by dropping the mushroom 1,000 times. I don't know whose audio you have on stream. Ooh, and Umari0 got the nice glitch where you grab the shell right as the coin spawns in the goal tape,
Ooh, nice.
and it acts like a yellow shell. Makes Yoshi stomp.
Nice. You have GDF's audio.
GDF is choosing to do a no scroll strat at the beginning of Ludwig. I don't know if that's faster. I don't see many players do that. Umari0 is doing the same thing. Maybe it is faster. Umari0 did lose P-speed just a little bit. Ooh, and got hit and lost flower from one of the balls and chains. So that is going to lose him about 14 seconds, assuming that GDF saves or keeps his fire flower. And Umari0 did a scroll there, I guess, to be a little bit safer with the Potaboos. So yeah, GDF actually has 2 fire flowers, which is very nice out of Ludwig. That means he won't have to do the small turnaround to grab the backup flower in FOI1. Save a little bit of time. So yeah, they were pretty even up to this point, but Umari0 is going to lose about 14 seconds. Or, yeah.
We still have a race though. Still a pretty good race so far.
Yeah, I mean, anything could happen, you know. 2 or 3, like, missed Yoshi clips, and that could turn the race around. But since Umari0 only has 1 fire flower at this point, he will not be able to have fire flower in Roy. Because even if he grabs the fire flower in the roulette block of FOI1, that'll only give him 1.
No, there's a fire flower at like the beginning of FI1. I thought, like, yeah.
Well, he could, but assuming he's gonna keep doing fast strats, he won't grab that one.
Yeah, and if he misses clip, I guess he could get the fire
Yeah, so
flower.
GDF chose to skip that one. Also, GDF did lose a little bit of P-speed at the beginning of FY1. And goes for the luck-based Hammer Bro jump and makes it. So, good for him, or I guess lucky for him.
Umari0 not going for the...
Umari0 doesn't grab the Fire Flower at all, which makes sense because he would only have 1 Fire Flower for Roy, which he would still deboost and it would take an extra transition. Umari0 tries to spit the shell out, but actually gets hit by the hammer. Whether it's from luck or jumping early, I'm not sure. GDF did get RNG'd out.
Oh.
But he got the left clip, so he only lost about 4 seconds. That was a good recovery. Umari0 had a little bit of a less good recovery. Because he did have to jump up on the platform in FY1. GDF also missed the throw block several times. Ooh, that was an interesting dismount by Umari0. I'm not sure if he meant to dismount him that early.
Okay.
He did get the left clip. If he hadn't gotten that clip, since he dismounted Yoshi while holding down on the ground once, he only had a good subpixel guaranteed for 1 attempt. So it would have been essentially random if he missed that one. Yeah, double left clip, that's unusual. I don't even usually attempt left clip because the visual cue is much harder for me for no reason. GDF goes with the spring, doesn't even attempt the wall jump. A little bit safer. I actually didn't know you could jump in that bomb that GDF just did. That actually makes that strat easier. I might start doing that. So yeah, GDF had a pretty clean FOI3. Let's see if Umario's is as clean. He did a slight left-right there, which is usually what I do. Just because the jump is a little bit tight with the Goomba bubble. He did get a nice Goomba bounce right there, but he, I think, chose to go a little bit safer. He wasn't sure about his P-speed jump. So, as GDF does have 2 Fire Flowers at this point, we'll almost certainly see him go for the D-boost. Ooh! Never mind. I spoke too soon.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah. So he'll still go for the D-boost, but he didn't get to grab his second power-up, which means neither of them will have a Fire Flower for Roy, which does make up a little bit of time for Umari0. So that problem could have been solved if GDF went a little bit further right on the platform and slid under the Odaboo instead of trying to ride him back. I think he was... looked like the reason he got hit was because he got a little bit too worried and thought he was going to run off the back. Umari0 does have an extra power-up, just as a safety,
Yeah.
and for he'll need it in Choco Ghost House anyway, but still not a Fire Flower.
Typically get like the mushroom at the beginning of Chocolate Island 1, so if GDF does that, you want to save some time. Let him do that.
Yeah. So let's see how GDF's CI1 goes. He does the pretty standard beginning, but doesn't mess it up. He actually did a left-right to bounce on that chuck. I guess just doing a little bit of a safety strat, even though it's not really risky to bounce on the chuck. But he gets through pretty cleanly. So he's most likely going to grab this spring right here as a power-up. And lost a couple frames to give us a nice parade. It's always necessary.
Oh, nice.
Umari0 also does the standard strat. He bounced a little bit too far right on the Dino Rhino to be comfortable, I think. He also gets through the same way by spin jumping on the Dino Rhino. And GDF opts not to even attempt Suicide Door. I guess he's in the lead and doesn't want to lose it. And also deboosts a little bit later than you usually see. He deboosted on the diagonal line instead of before it. It just cost a quick left-right, but maybe he's just more comfortable with that. We see Umari0 does get Suicide Door, so that saves maybe, what, 2 seconds?
Probably.
And he does the standard deboost strat. Ooh, GDF just died up to a Dino Rhino.
Oh.
It's a very quick death, but it does make up about 13 seconds for Umari0. Maybe 14,
Close.
as far as I know. So everything is possible. It's still a fairly close race. We'll see what happens, especially in Choco Secret and Wendy. And GDF does the strat by making the 2 chucks jump, but did lose P-speed right at the end. They both had very similar red Koopa rooms. Umari, oh, that's actually a pretty big time loss. Umari0 tried to do the same strat as GDF, but fell. Oh wow, and GDF was trying to slide kill that, I think. Slide kill that Buzzy, but it got hit. These look like just a lot of nervous mistakes. GDF does not have P-speed right now, so he is going to have to take this a little bit slower and grab a safety shroom. Which I guess isn't necessary because you have that midway there. And Umari0 pulls off the strat. But that did lose him a decent amount of time because he had to redo 2.5 rooms. GDF does keep some P-speed through the falling room. That was a nice falling room. Yeah, I think if Umari0 hadn't died, he would have been just about tied with GDF, because GDF had 2 deaths. Umari0 had 1, but it was a pretty long one. GDF also lost P-speed on some of those earlier platforms, but he regains it in the chuck section. Does get a back bounce on both chucks, which isn't really harmful, but loses a little bit of time. Also, he did not get his jump eaten by the second to last sloped platform.
Nice. Yeah,
Let's see if Umari0 can keep P-speed through this whole room and save a second or two on GDF. Umari0 also got a back bounce. Just one. Okay, let's see. I would assume that GDF is going to go for Crusher Skip here, because it's very easy while small. He goes for a little bit of early P-speed strats. Not the fastest, but pretty good. Also takes it fairly safe on one of the saws, just jumping right over it. Now this is one of the rooms that can really mess up a run. Looks like he's having a very clean, fast strat. Other than right at the end, he lost P-speed and got hit. It's not the worst place to get hit. Ooh! Umari0 was trying to do the fastest early P-speed strat and just slightly slid into the Crusher.
Oh, that's...
that
bad.
is a pretty... I bet... Oh, and he hit the saw. I bet he's kicking himself for these mistakes. These are just nervous mistakes. Easily avoidable, but when you get nervous, you start making a couple inputs of mistakes on your jumps, and everything gets messed up. So since he did not have a power-up there, he pretty much had to go for the non-Crusher Skip setup. So he just went for the Cycle Skip instead. Umari0 was also going for the fast strat where you maintain P-speed, but he got clipped right on the second to last ledge. That's one reason that many runners do not go for that strat. But he did have a backup, but lost a little bit of time having to wait for that horizontal platform to move over there. So GDF does have a pretty sizable lead on Umari0 right now. Assuming no more deaths, GDF did just get hit by some boos, but he'll probably just have to lose a cycle later here because I doubt he's going to squeeze through the boo rings. But assuming no deaths on GDF's part, I'd say it'll be pretty easy for GDF to maintain this lead, even with safer strats. Yeah, so you can see he had to wait a cycle here. He might... Oh. Okay, so he did skip that one. It's a lot easier to swim vertically because you can hold the up button and pretty much just spam B or A. Travel very quickly. Let's see what lag reduction strats he does. So, looks like he's doing the Pretty standard lag reduction strats, just killing the Koopas on the left side of the screen. And he does clear the spike balls very easily. I would say orb. So GDF did not get P-Speed right at the beginning, which means he had to do a scroll right there. But that was a good backup. Or not really backup, but more like a little bit of a save. Actually, I'm kind of confusing strats. I think you always do a scroll there. But he still lost a tiny bit of time. And there's the second orb. GDF does a little bit of a wait at the beginning of Vob 2 to make the first sandbar a little bit lower, so he doesn't have to do a left-right. But he clips the disco shell just a tiny bit and makes him fall off the ledge. But that's not a bad place to lose P-Speed. It's almost at the end. You can just jump over the rest. It's only if you fall and lose P-Speed on the one before that that you lose a bunch of time. Unless you get a wall shell jump.
See, he does this.
So it looks like, yeah, he's not going for sandbar.
Yeah.
He knows he's in the lead. He wants to keep it that way. He's not going to PB anyway, so because he does have several deaths. Let's see if Umari0 tries to do sandbar in order to make up a little bit of time, or if he just wants to get through the run as quickly as possible, safely. Umari0 does a tiny left-right to get onto the first sandbar, but it works pretty well. And gets through the whole room 1 with P-Speed. GDF did go for the orange jump, but can't tell if Umari0 went for sandbar right there and went late with a safe setup, or if he didn't go for it at all. Either way, he's still safe. Yeah, GDF went for the orange jump, but he actually didn't pull far enough out right, so he kind of hit the wall before he could have made it up there anyway, so... Okay, so let's see how GDF's Bob Fort goes. The beginning has been very solid. Doing pretty standard strats, but he did not hesitate enough in that one section, which meant that he kind of wisely chose to lose P-Speed there and not get his head hit by the crusher. If he was small, he could have made that jump. But if he was big, it would have been a tight jump. But he does get through there, still with a power-up, to be safe. He didn't have quite as friendly Reznor patterns as in Vanilla Fort, but he still got through them with the fast cycle, a little bit slower movement. Let's see if Umari0 can keep P-Speed through all of Vob Fort. Does look like he's doing a little bit of higher jumps, and you can notice that he had a little bit more room to squeeze under that crusher. Still cutting it pretty close. And GDF has a flawless dark room. Didn't lose P-Speed at all. Oh, I didn't catch it. Did Umari0 do cycle skip? I don't know.
Yeah, he got it.
Okay. Umari0 got another fast cycle, just like in Vanilla Fort. And GDF entered the Bowser fight. Bowser started moving at about 3440. I'll have to see when Umari0's Bowser starts moving. And he did get the first hit on Bowser with a tiny bit of delay, which means that he's perfectly set up for the second hit. And he did get the second hit. Mario also does Dark Room. He does keep P-Speed, but he got hung up on the wall for just a little bit. Okay, so it looks like they're about 43 seconds apart.
Bad.
Which isn't bad. For this race with several deaths, it's kind of been a little bit unpredictable, I'd say. GDF did get ball skip. Ooh, Umari0 got hit right there. So Umari0 got through phase 1, but he doesn't have a Mecha Koopa to do ball skip, so that means he's also not going to have a Mecha Koopa to do a fast phase 3. Oh my goodness, oh wow.
What?
He got sniped by a fireball because he was typing in chat.
Oh.
Oh man, it's a good thing we're in backdoor where he can grab the midway, but this would have been a 37 on Umari0's part. Not anymore. And GDF gets a 36-27, which is a very respectable tournament time.
Nice.
Not even over a minute past his PB. And Umari0, I'm sure, is not enjoying this redo of the Bowser fight. Well, that's what happens when you type in chat. He took phase 1 very safely right there. Doesn't want to get hit like the first time. And I'd wager he's paying a lot more attention to these fireballs right now.
Yeah.
He just accidentally stomped his Mecha Koopa.
Oh!
Oh, he was trying to jump over the mushroom to save, whatever, 31 frames. And now he has to wait for 2 cannonballs. That's why you normal jump there instead of spin jumping if you want to skip the mushroom. Or just hold the Mecha Koopa. I don't know. There's many things you could do, but you don't think about that when you're in a tournament race. Oh my goodness, now he's gonna have quad balls. Because he did... Well, he might be attempting the second ball skip, we'll see. Okay, 47.
What? Oh!
Oh, he's having some spaghetti.
Come on, you can do it.
I would just try to hit him with the Mecha Koopas at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, there's one.
Okay.
And there's the next. There we go. Just get out of it alive, Umari0. So yeah, as I said earlier, this run could have easily been a 37-49, according to the average splits that he's running against. He was plus 13 out of Wendy, so could have easily been a 37 with a good VOB section, but you know, when you're in a tournament race and you're behind your opponent, it can get discouraging and you can mess up a lot easier.
Okay. Finish this up.
So
okay.
he does a pretty safe phase 3 since he didn't have the Mecha Koopa to hit the initial one.
Okay. So
Or I mean to hit Bowser early. Yeah, with a 39.08, so less than a 3-minute difference. It's not bad for that spaghetti, I guess.
Stream is frozen. He literally froze it. Okay, there.
He paused for a second.
Oh, okay.
I have audio on for him. I don't know why, but... So... yeah.
See if they
GG to both runners. It was pretty close. Very close up until Chocolate Secret. GDF was in Chocolate Secret and Umari0 was in Chocolate Island 2. That one Chuck death kind of caused a landslide of some spaghetti. But even up until Valley Fort, it was only 40 seconds difference.
So, yo, GDF.
Yo, what's up?
Hello.
So, Chocolate Isle, thank you. Chocolate Island, where should we begin?
Well, I guess we should begin at the beginning in CI2.
CI2, yeah. I meant to normal jump, but I guess nerves were starting to set in at that point because I was actually having a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just the start of it. And then I think it was an Eaton input in Choco Secret because I did try to jump on the Buzzy, just trying to make excuses though. Let's see. Go ahead.
Hi.
Yo, hey, Mario.
Hi, Umari.
Hi.
Yeah, it was a great race.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah,
And very close up until Chocolate Secret and CI2.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was pretty mad about the fire loss in Ludwig. Besides that, I was pretty happy until Chocolate 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, it looked like, to me, because GDF had a quick death in CI2, and then a little bit of a longer death in Chocolate Secret. If you hadn't died at the end of CI2, I think you would have actually just been right about tied with him.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was pretty close. But yeah, that Chuck strat jumping underneath him, it's pretty close.
Oh yeah. I just jumped early. That was completely my fault.
Yeah, I don't actually do that strat. I bounce on top of the Chucks to be a little bit safer.
Oh well.
And then,
Let's not talk about what happened in Bowser.
well, I think the spaghetti kind of started in Windy.
Oh yeah, that's true. I went for like really fast P speed with the crushers, and man, that was just a bad idea.
I was just saying, because GDF did a little bit of a slower early P speed, and you went right at it and just slid back to the crusher.
Yeah.
And then didn't have the fire flower for, didn't have a power up to do crusher skip.
Yep.
Yeah, Wendy's is pretty brutal if you get hit.
Yeah. I tried going for sandbar too, but I should have went for my death sandbar because I don't know the no death setup.
Yeah, I
So
couldn't
I
tell
just-
if you went for it or not.
Completely whiffed it.
I decided not to go for sandbar because I had been failing it all day long.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I can do it with no cape pretty like consistently, like somewhat consistently.
Definitely
You-
a lot tougher.
And even when you were both in Bowser, initially, there was a
Oh, yeah.
40-second difference between the two. Then, stuff happens in Bowser.
Yeah.
I know, I've lost 3 PBs to Bowser recently.
Should I ask?
No.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But, yeah. If
Yeah, I
you're,
had fun.
Yeah.
It looked exciting in a lot of places.
I got that yellow shell glitch in BB2,
Yeah, I pointed that out.
so I'm pretty happy about my race.
36 for me. I'm happy with that. That's better than
It's
what
a
I had
solid-
been getting. Yeah,
A
that's
solid turning time.
better than what I had been
And-
getting in runs as of late.
Yeah, without the Bowser spaghetti, I think yours could have been a 3750 something Umari0, which isn't too bad for a
Yeah.
tourney race. But yeah, unless anyone else has anything to say, that might wrap it up for commentary in the race. I guess we could look at the challenge page and see what's going on.
I don't have anything else.
Let me see what that does to the brackets.
Oh, I
How about-
play against Leary in losers round 2.
Yeah, GDF will move forward to the round where he will play the winner of Chabs and Akisto. That'll be potentially a close round, because Chabs has been doing a lot of practice, and Akisto I haven't seen do much practice, even though I think we all know if he practices for like an hour, he can probably get like a 34 or something.
I'm actually looking forward to that race.
That
Yeah,
will be
one's gonna be
interesting.
good.
And then, yeah, and Mario, you said you're moving down to what?
Loser of. Oh yeah, I play against Leary.
Play against Leary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, one good thing is even when you have good racers who are going down to the losers bracket, they could easily pull through very far in the losers bracket, and I think the winner of the losers bracket does get to go back into the winners bracket, right? I'm not sure
Yeah,
in this
That
tournament.
I think
I
Like-
think
yeah, at the end, grand finals, I guess.
unless it works differently, I think it's usually losers winner plays winners winner best 2 of 3, something like that, or until the loser loses twice,
Yeah,
or whatever. Someone loses twice.
actually, I think it's if the loser loses once.
And
Yeah,
the
the
winner would
winner
have to
loses
lose twice.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, first to 2 losses, basically.
Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, one thing. Since losers bracket shouldn't be too bad, hopefully for a while, I'm gonna focus on Lunar Dragon, and I'll have world records soon. So look out for me.
nice.
Look out,
Dragon.
old dad.
The sole lone runner of Lunar Dragon.
Dude, best category.
I'm still looking forward to that switch the Lunar Dragon.
Oh yeah, that's a good category too.
Okay, so I guess that wraps it up.
Yeah. So let's see. So I guess we can